Hey, this is Sierra Comics to Toys, and I got another package in the mail. I think it's from one of my Indigogo projects that I backed, and I'm not really sure exactly who this is from. Let's see. Haunted Pizza LLC, PO Box 192, Gibbsboro, New Jersey. I don't really have too much of an idea who this is from, so let's open it up and see what we got. So let's be careful here. At least it's packed up really nicely, which is good. This is hopefully going to come in a little bit better shape than the last book that I got, so keep that safe. Let's take a look here. Come on. There we go. And okay, very nice. This looks like it's in very nice shape. This is going to be Graveyard Shift by Malin and Bolton. Okay, this is something that I backed last year, and looks like I got it here 1st of March. I remember hearing that some others were getting this, and it's pretty cool. You'll see that got their autographs at the bottom here. Looks very nice against the black. Nice job there. So I'm gonna have to take this out and take a look at it and read it, and I'll do a review on it. See what I think about it. Catch you in a few. Alright, got a chance to read through Graveyard Shift. Just wanted to kind of show you what it looks like. Here's the signed autographs on the front here. Let's get a shot of the cover if we can get it without the shine from the lights. There's going to be the back. Kind of shows the different team. Bride, Professor Blood, and the Monster. Now, I do have to say, this is a very, very nicely produced. It's very thick. The pages of this are about the thickest pages that I have seen for a comic book. They're almost thick to the point where, as I'm thumbing through the comic book reading it, it almost feels like I have another page that that maybe 2 pages got stuck together. But no, very nicely made, very nice quality on it. I think this would probably go through quite a few different readings, if you pass this to your friends to read and so on. But getting into what the story was about, well, first off, John Malin is the artist on this. He's done like Cable and work for Marvel. He's also done the Jawbreakers, and he has a really nice art style. I've enjoyed it, and in this, I think this was redone. He kind of fixed some of it. I think it was already maybe partially completed, and then he kind of refinished stuff to make it look even nicer. But the artwork is very nice in this. The story that you're getting here is kind of a monster story. What if monsters were kind of like the X-Men? They're in a world that hates them, and you have a person or an evil company that's out to get them, with President Helsing, which is kind of the bad guy in this comic book. The story's nice. The entry story where they're talking about how the team was created, setting everything up, like who the bad guy is in this, and who the different players are, how they started out, and then kind of how they got their powers, and how things kind of went wrong, and that's how they all got kind of turned into different monsters. I do like the setup of the book, so it makes me want to find out more about the different characters. One of the more interesting characters, I think, is the monster. He was badly burned, and they put him in, used this special process to reanimate him and bring him back to life. But that's the monster. Then you got, Professor Blood, or kind of the leader of the group. Then you also have the bride, which is another character. Let me see if I can kind of find her here. That's going to be the monster again. Yeah, like of all the characters on the group, I think I liked him about the best. But let me see if I can find. This is the bride, where he brings her back to life. And yeah, you can kind of see. Yeah, there's going to be the monster there. But no, I really like the artwork. The story is interesting. It hooked me. I wanna see the next one that he has of this. This is the volume 1, and I think later this year it was mentioned in here that they're going to have the newest one come out. But let me just see if I can find a couple different pages that I thought were kind of weird. Let me see. Now, Jawbreakers. This is the other thing they did earlier. I have another video earlier of that. There's this one scene here. In Jawbreakers, there's this one part where one of the characters has something in his mouth. I'll try and put something up on this part. Where I think the character was like eating some ice cream or something, and he had this lump in the side of his cheek that just, I kept going back to that, and I kept on thinking it was weird. And there's a kind of a page here that I kind of had the same thing, or the same sort of reaction. But looking at this, yeah, so like you'll see here, the President Helsing is meeting with the Congress or something like this. And you'll see in this part here where you have like the news people that are giving their commentary, and then there's this other, I don't know, Channel 4 with this one lady which seems to be pregnant, and then you have this you have where the team comes in and there's an explosion, and you have this where the woman who is pregnant seems to explode, and then you can even see the little fetus popping out. I'm not, this doesn't bother me, but it's just the weirdest thing that I've seen in a comic book, and it kind of reminds me back to that Jawbreakers one, where I just kept on looking at this like, what the heck is going on with that? Kind of weird. But again, artwork is good on this. You can kind of see the different characters. Again, this is going to be my favorite character here, which is the monster. The dynamic between the different characters I thought was interesting, where the monster is the husband of the bride, but the bride, I guess, is interested in blood, and I guess monster is kind of drifting off and becoming more like a monster. Also, another thing that I noticed is with the president here, he had these soldiers that protected him in these red outfits, which gave me a whole, Star Wars vibe with, Emperor Palpatine and his guard, which was kind of funny. But no, very good book. I think a very good start to the story. The artwork was great. It led me to want to find out more about this, and this is definitely going to be one that I'll be watching for this later on. later this year. I think probably more spring, summer is when he's going to put out volume 2. He's probably trying to work on it and kind of get it mostly finished before actually doing the Indiegogo, because I think that kind of works, because kind of some of the different Indiegogos have kind of had quite a long lead time between the Indiegogo and then the actual fulfillment of it. But here's a good shot where I think you can see where his artwork, where he had originally worked on the comic book, and then kind of the refinished part here. So you can see, I love to see where an artist goes from this to even better, and then give him another year from now as he continues to work, he gets even better, which I look forward to seeing his newer stuff. But this is just kind of the back of it with some different pin-up stuff, which I found interesting. That, and then it's pretty cool with it colored and everything there. And this one was kind of neat. I thought this one was pretty cool. So who did this? Mike McMahon. You can see the black and white, and then the color version, kind of a different take on the characters, which, again, I think this is the coolest character. Yeah, there's the bride and the Professor Blood or whatever, but I think the monster was like the coolest. I want to learn more about him. So let's see some artwork here, and then some of the logos and everything. But again, people that worked on this, John Malin was going to be he's the artist of this and kind of the story, and then we got Mark Polton, who must have worked more on the story and kind of probably tightened it up. And then you got Anthony George, the colorist, Eric Weathers, the letterer. But no, it's a pretty good book. It was definitely worth was it $25, $35 probably with the shipping and everything. I think they also let's see, what else did I get in here? I got a little card here, so they making some trading cards, which is kind of neat. So we got Professor Blood there, and then I thought this was kind of neat. This reminds me of like the old Marvel cards from like the 80s or 90s, where it had like the power ratings. So it's like, oh, got pretty high power ratings. But anyway, I don't know what to tell you. This might be something you could find on eBay at some time, but definitely check out Indiegogo for more stuff like this. And I would definitely say pick up volume 2, because you kind of got the origin story out of the way with this one, and then you can get right into the action and find out what's going on between the graveyard shift and President Helsing. So anyway, if you like this video, go ahead, hit subscribe and like. Also hit the bell for notifications, and hey, thanks for watching.